And we're back online. I hope you took full advantage of this break to grab a sandwich, grab a coffee or some tea, use the restroom, what have you. We're back with Debby Kruzic, and we're going to be listening to her give us a brief presentation on staying current on the risks and reward of AI. And I just want to say I'm a fan of Debbie. I met her a few months back. She is part of a community called All Tech is Human, and she's been advocating for the sharing of knowledge and free resources without any paywalls, without any obstruction. So I'm a very big fan of people that very passionately spread knowledge. Um, Debbie, would you like to share your PowerPoint, and then I'll put it on screen?
Sure, sure. And for some reason, it seems like my camera is tied to the other screen. Isn't that weird? Because I had you on. You see what I'm talking about? It's showing my what I don't see is my own self live.
Oh no, I see the screen you're sharing. If you go on the PowerPoint and you set it, I'll be happy to put it on screen.
Okay.
Yep, it's visible. If you want to hit present mode.
Okay.
Perfectly.
So you can see that the swarm on the front there.
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay. And then you saw the change there as I went to the next slide.
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you all for listening today, and thank you to Joaquin and for letting me be one of your presenters today. I just wanted to give a quick background of myself first, so you know who I am. I have a tech-only knowledge base where we curate information from many sources. The idea being that people can come to one place and be able to access links, without having to go to numerous sites and worry about pop-ups and things like that. My background is business process automation. So I'm not a programmer or a data analyst or an AI expert, but I feel I have a very well-rounded knowledge because of all of the information that we read and collect every day. So my goal is to introduce you to some new sources of information and help you with your own, where you get information and knowledge. And I'll just go forward on there. So this summit is a perfect example of the importance of sharing information. I've been on since it started this morning, and I've already learned a lot. And if you think about it, many of us attend summits like this, and we might connect with people on social media, and we get all excited, and then we all go back to our jobs and our normal lives, and presentations get buried and things kind of stop. And that's a shame, because there's so much information that people have to share with us all, wherever it might be, like all of you that are here on this conference. And so that's really been the goal of my knowledge base when I built it, was that it was a sharing economy, and people could come in and read articles and post and not be worrying about having to give personal information or signing up and things like that. So it's really great that we have this example to kind of give you my story here. So for example, I'm not a user of ChatGPT. I've probably asked it 5 questions, but I did this one yesterday. How many posts and articles are published daily on AI? And you can see here, that it's just way too much for any person to ever be able to read and gain knowledge from. So for example, the news websites, academic papers, blogs and opinions, and of course, social media posts. So that's what we're up against if we're trying to keep up and learn and hear all sides of the stories and gain perspectives. So where do we get our technology information? If any of you don't mind, like with the chat, if you want to put what kind of news sites you use and all, that'll be very helpful for me in the future. But for example, social media, websites, books, magazines, our peers, newspapers, subscriptions, emails. And what do we subscribe to, and what do some of us pay for, right? There's a lot of newsletters coming across in LinkedIn, of course, and I'll sign up to some of them, but then when I get the email, I'm just too busy. And, so I rarely read the newsletter that I get. Same thing with exclusive content. We might sign up for a website and then they'll say, hey, if you give us your email or pay $5 more, you can get to more exclusive content. Same with news, and then, the different paywalls. And a big part of, especially in the AI world, is, what is our role and responsibility? I mean, I don't see how somebody that maybe is in administration and working in HR, it doesn't make sense that they're going to become a prompt engineer, unless that's what they want to move to. So I think what happens is a lot of people get overwhelmed, especially with AI, and somehow they figure they got to know it all. And I mean, there's just no way that that's possible. So I think it's important for when we're learning and reading to really consider, back down a little bit and figure out what we want to learn versus feeling like we're overwhelmed and that we have to know everything, because it's not possible for any of us. And how do we learn? So, webinars and seminars, this great event from Swarm Community, online training and certifications. So, that's another big important piece is the learning. And as some of the speakers today that are involved in education, how important that is. So our philosophy was to build a place to access information in one place. And we not only hand curate and go to every link we provide, but we only share links that do not request personal information. And I share a lot of information from LinkedIn connections and Substack writers, but we don't share links that require you to have to log into LinkedIn or Substack to read it. So again, we try to keep it just a straight link to the published material. And so think of us as a virtual library for the latest articles, posts, and opinions. And I'm bringing AI a lot, up because this is an AI conference, but also the amount of content on AI, has just gone way up over the last year or two. So, there is a lot of that in there, although we do put stuff in here about cybersecurity and data analytics and IT management. So here's the question I asked yesterday to ChatGPT. I asked this about every couple months, what is techdin.com? So I'm just going to read you the top and the bottom one. TechDin is a platform that curates and organizes technology-related content, focusing on simplifying access to tech news, blogs, articles, and more. It is designed to help professionals stay updated on trends, innovations, and opportunities in technology industries. And then at the end, it says TechDin emphasizes user-focused content aggregation, offering a clean and organized experience for busy professionals. So this is much better than what I got in 2 months when I asked this question, but I feel that it kind of gives a good feel for what we're about. So here is a screenshot of and I'm going to show you the live side, but here is a screenshot of some of our content that's in the AI blog. So you will see that we have the title of the article or post, the date it was published, and who it's published by. And when you click on these, you go straight to that published piece. Now, in the AI content collection we have, each of them can hold 100 links. And the last time I checked, that was about 7 to 8 worth. So 7 to 8 days worth. So if you think about it, 7 days of content fitting in 100 links. I mean, there's just no way to be able to keep up with all this. And what we've done is we, categorize it and we pick and choose what we want in there. No one puts content in our site. We have no algorithm that puts it in there. We actually go to each of these and read them and make sure that we feel it adds some value to our readership. And keeping up with content is, a big deal, right? If you go to a website today for one of your favorite news sites, you're going to see the latest, today. And if you didn't have a chance to go there the last couple days, then you don't know what you missed because it moved off the homepage and it's going, deeper into their websites. And searching is time consuming and not always productive. And, I don't see how anybody could use ChatGPT to run a search to find the information that we have that's out there. I mean, it would just be, a ridiculous list back and all of the citations and things. It would just be, way too much time consuming. And you also have, you can sign up for an email alert, hey, there's new news from the site. But again, it's hard to keep up with those emails and those newsletters and alerts. And then social media is a whole nother story, right? If we post something, we have no guarantee who it's going to be seen by or when it shows up in the feed. And we also don't know what we're missing if we're not on LinkedIn at the time something good comes across. So there's no, no real confidence there of what you're seeing. And for many of us, it's hard to get viewers and readership for our articles and posts because we're all competing to get followers and to build our followers, get our writing out there, our products out there, whatever it may be. But it's definitely not an easy task. These are some of the technology websites that we go to daily. So again, if any of you have other ones that you don't mind, putting in there, I'll definitely look at them. And again, we just make sure that each article has a share button before it goes in our site. But these are some of the ones that we use daily. So with that, I'm going to switch over to the actual live solution. And let's make sure I can do this. So hopefully you all can see this. This is our site. It's built in a knowledge-based format. We use a solution called Document 360. And so we use their solution to build all this. So for example, what we've done with some of the real popular areas, right? We have this blogs on chat, GPT, ethics, and language models. And this is kind of the screenshot I showed you earlier. So the way our knowledge base opens up, you can see our whole table of contents to the left, or you can just close that up. And then you can get down right into this iframe. So for example, you're going to see today, the things that we put in there. And you just have to scroll down here and you're going to see, as I mentioned, there's 100 things in here at a time. But we pretty much share what we find. And, some of it says AI is great and some of it says AI is not good, but we share it as we see it. So, we're not only showing good or bad. We see something that we feel is important to put in there and we put it there. So, you can see things about scaling AI. You can see things about reasoning models, people about AI adoption and, education, AI and education. And so there's just so much in there and you'll see all the different places that we get it from. And this saves all of us, or not us, but a lot of people having to go to these sites on their own and then also wondering if they're going to get a pop-up or anything like that. So this is what we call our curated blogs collections that are just ongoing. And we use a solution called Up Content that allows us to do this. So when we go to an article that we want to share, we have a little utility that allows us to pick that one and bring it in. So that's how these get in here. But we have other things that we do differently. So for example, AI adoption and usage. This is very important, we feel, to a lot of people. So what we've done here is this is more in kind of an ongoing format. And what's different about this is we have the direct link to the article, but we also give a little spiel on what it is. And so when you click on that, you're going to go directly to that article, like I said, and from there you can, do whatever you want. But that's the whole idea, is that you can see these articles and they're kind of been filtered by the subject matter of adoption and usage. The other one that's, pretty important is AI's effects on jobs. So we have this one. It's kind of similar, but we have it more by the month. So you can see we already have December 2024. And again, this one is more geared towards articles that are talking about AI and its effects on jobs, good and bad. So this is a whole different kind of collection. So I wanted to give you a sample of that. And then also we have individual articles that we get from people. And so for example, if I go down here to our AI ethics, it's going to bring you into this category here, and you can see alphabetically all the different articles that we have in here. So it's just a different way of doing that. And we can also search. So for example, if I do AI ethics, this is going to show you some of the things that came up. And if I click on this ethics report, then it brings up this particular report that we put in there. And in our knowledge base, you can see right here is a PDF. So we can have a PDF file embedded in there, a video, whatever content needs to be in there. So that's how our articles that are inside of our own application look versus the ones that are linking outside of the application. And then our other piece we have is over here is similar to the left side, but it's kind of like a little widget here so that you can see what we have and expand things as you want. And so that's a whole nother level of what we're doing there. And pretty much that's what our site looks like. It's again as a knowledge base, and we have other things, data and analytics, and we are always open to sharing people's knowledge in a site like ours, and we always make sure we give credit where credit is due, if you will. I mean, that's very important to us. And so appreciate if there's any questions. Also, what sites that you all use will be helpful to me so we can expand our knowledge base and go to some sites that we maybe have never heard of. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Debbie, thank you very much. I encourage anyone that is beginning their AI journey or tech journey to visit TechDin. As Debbie mentioned, she is very selective, and she hand curates all the resources that go on the website. She has a working relationship with a lot of the publishers, a lot of the authors. So this is a very curated experience. And for her to make this free, to me, is bananas. I mean, I think she should be charging a subscription for it, but that's why she's here. I'm a big advocate for what she's doing, and I hope you can all take advantage. So let me ask you, Debbie, what led you to create this? What was the motivation behind developing tech?
Sure. Way back, I am a reseller for enterprise software. So I've been both a vendor and a customer, right? And I just felt that a lot of the things that you wanted to get information on, be it a white paper or stuff that would give you valuable information, was always had, you can't get it unless you give me your email and all. And so I started feeling like, well, how can you learn if everything you're doing has to, you have to pay for it or, be in this constant marketing funnel just because you wanted to read something that you might be interested in buying, right? But it's just the way the world worked with the way marketing and especially enterprise vendors, software and hardware, that's kind of been our world. So that's kind of started it. I started trying to reach out to people and say, hey, you want to share your great white paper and things like that.
Yeah, it started off innocently enough, and it's perversed its way into, hey, if you want to read anything on the internet, you have to put it behind a paywall or put some sort of conditional element. And where has the original purpose of the internet gone, where it's meant to connect people and allow us to co-create and find ways of scaffolding ideas on top of other people's great ideas? So I appreciate you for that.
Yes, thank you.
So as far as TechDen goes, how frequently do you update it? How often do you go in the newsletters? Like, what does that look like?
Pretty much the curated blogs that we have. So we have 4 sections. We have the AI one, the security and the data analytics and the news. And those are done daily. We commit to by 8 a.m. Mountain Time to go in there, and we go into all the sites that we like, and then we'll go into the up content and see what they might have shown that we didn't see. But again, we are the only ones that pick and choose and bring anything into our site. Now down the road, we can make other people be collaborators, and we can have somebody have an account where they could bring in. But right now it's that way because we don't want anything to come in there that's not what we want, right? We don't want any politics or anything like that. So
that's another thing. There's no request for email collection. There's no request for cookies or tracking information. You don't know who accesses it. You just know that there's traffic and that people are deriving value from it.
That's really all we watch. We have our Google Analytics just to see the visitors and things like that, but we don't collect any personal information, as well as we don't, nothing's given to anybody that sponsors us or that type of thing. If you go to their website and you fill out you're off our site, and that's people's choice, but not in our site.
This is, like I said, very rare treat to come across people that uphold their values to the highest levels of implementation in their offerings. So I appreciate you for that. And yeah, I'd love to hear from the audience if you have any questions for Debbie or any comments. We'd love to hear from you. This is a live session, and certainly having a dialogue with the audience is appreciated. We'll give a few seconds. Lois is writing in. She's saying, "Thank you for this tech repository, Debbie. It's all very altruistic, and I'll be sure to check it out." And we're getting some other comment from Christian. He's saying, "This is fantastic. Thank you, Debbie." So yeah, I think Lois and Christian are, in particular, they're also big advocates for collecting, curating, and sharing knowledge. That's all we can do for now to fight this massive wave of AI hype. Real knowledge, real information, shared from on-ground perspectives, from the anecdotes of people that are working in the field.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the sessions.
Thank you, Debbie, and say hi to your doggy from me. So we'll take a brief break, and feel free to get some more coffee or tea. Use the restroom, and we'll be back for the following sessions. Thank you, Debbie.